Let's face it, sometimes reading can be kind of boring, especially if you don't think you're very good at it. Sometimes even if you're really good at reading, you're just not in the mood. But you can make any kind of reading fun. And there's one thing authors do that make it really easy for us to have fun while we read. They use this literary device thing called dialect. What's dialect? Good thing you asked. Dialect is a particular form of language that is peculiar to a specific region or social group. Sometimes people from Texas talk a little bit different than people who live in Boston, Massachusetts. And sometimes people in the United States talk a lot differently than someone who, say, lives in Germany or France or Mexico. If a writer is going to write about one of these characters, they're going to use dialect to let us know where this person is supposed to be from. They can also tell us if someone is educated or not educated. Maybe they're old or young, hyper or really tired. It's all in the dialect. So, there are 3 main reasons why an author uses this literary device we like to call dialect. First, they use it to help us fully understand the setting, time, and life of the characters. Second, dialect will help us identify differences in characters or distinguish between one character talking or their thinking and another character's thoughts or their speaking. And the third reason an author will use dialect is to help you really hear the story and hear the characters speak as you make that movie in your head, which you can learn about in my video, Movie in Your Head. Okay, back to dialect. Here are some examples of how different characters may speak in a story. Picture a cowboy. Big old cowboy hat, giant belt buckle, cowboy boots, holster. He might say something like, "Howdy, y'all. Come on down to my ranch. I just got finished wrangling them horses. Ooh, there's some wild ones out there, but they sure are beautiful. I am thirsty. I'm craving a big old tall cup of sweet iced tea. Come on, join me." To let you hear a cowboy as you read, an author might use different spelling and grammar to produce the way a character will pronounce something, or can change the way that someone sounds. For example, when our cowboy said, "Come on, join me," the author might spell "come on," a C with an apostrophe, M-O-N, come on, instead of C-O-M-E space O-N, like we're used to. Now, picture a French man. Loaf of bread, puree on his head. He might say something like, "Oh, bonjour. Come sit, have a seat. Eat some of this delicious bread and cheese. Oh, so delicious. Please, please, help yourself. Bon appetit." Clearly, I don't know much French, but you get the idea. Now I want you to think of an old country bumpkin, someone who has very little education, because this is something you'll see in reading a lot. Authors tend to use uneducated people often in their writing. Even Tom Sawyer in Huckleberry Finn has a few pieces of dialect that are to reflect someone who is very uneducated. So back to our country bumpkin. He might sound something like this. "Well, I'm just sitting up here waiting on my train here, see? I ain't had much to eat but this can of stew. I got my socks. My socks got some holes in them. Yep. Look at them there birdies. Those birdies are looking good. Man, I wish I had my brother's vibe. I wish I had my shotgun. I had my shotgun, I'd shoot that birdie. He might give me some fine little meat. Then I can use them bones. Use them bones, pick that meat right out my teeth. I ain't been to the dentist in a long time. Nope, I ain't going. I don't like no dentist. No dentist for me. I'm good with these teeth I have right here. My teeth starting hurting. I'm just gonna put some of that vanilla extract on my teeth and it'll stop hurting. Ain't no worries. Then we have our cool dude. Our cool dude, picture someone just hanging out, chilling, listening to some music. Maybe they really like music. Maybe they're artsy. They may sound like this. Hey, what's up? Yo, you gotta come listen to this. Man, they just dropped this beat. This stuff is pumping. It is time to get our groove on. Woo. Yeah, real. It's time to get funky. Get your dance on. Woo. This is great. This is hot. This is jumping. Okay, now think about a sassy teenage girl. Like, OMG, if I don't get to the mall immediately to buy those new Louis, I'm just gonna die. My little brother, he came into my room and he took my diary. That little rat. Oh my gosh, ooh, mud puddle, oh my gosh, OMG. Oh, I gotta go, TTYL. Think of a nerdy science student.
Why, as a matter of fact, you are a solid liquid in a gas. I mean, actually, are you sure you're not actually made of the purest chemical elements, copper and tellurium? Because you are cute.
Or what about the old Southern grandma? I was gonna tell you something, sonny. Back in my day, young men's didn't go round them young ladies with their drawers hanging out their trousers. Pull them trousers up. What about a crazy little toddler girl? You can make your nose and you can make your friends, but you can't make your friend's nose unless you have some really weird arrangement. We've got the surfer dude. Yo. Hang 10, man. And as a final example, let's throw in an airhead or a ditz who might say something like this. For some reason, when I close my eyes, I can't see. Okay, so remember, dialect is a literary device that authors use to help us hear how a character sounds, to distinguish between one character in the story and another, and to help us find out about the setting of a story or more information about a character's background. Authors will spell words differently, even misspell words, or use improper grammar to help us see dialect and hear those voices in our head as we read. Dialect. Use it. Use voices. Make reading exciting.